Hey y'all, it's your girl Kiana Johnson. I'm the executive director and founder of Life After Release, an organization that is based in Prince George's County, Maryland. Our office is inside of Creative Suitland, so come by and see us. And today we are interviewing folks around the participatory defense process that we have. It is a community program that we have here at Life After Release, where we work with individuals who have been impacted by the criminal legal system, charged of a crime. That's in layman's terms. We help them navigate that system. We want to get them released if they're being held on any type of bond. And then after that, we help them from start to finish in their case. We go to every single court date with them, doing court support. We help them have meetings with their attorneys, go over their discovery. We do everything with them to get the best possible outcome. Our hub, our Community Defense Hub, PG, is one of about 50 hubs across the country. We are the only hub that is located here in the state of Maryland, and we have a really big task. We've already supported over 60 individuals with their cases and had massive success. And one of our success stories today is a young lady. I don't do names because I don't want people researching people and doing all those other things, because it's really about the criminal legal system and not the person that is affected by it. And understanding that the system was designed to capture and to take out Black and brown people, poor people, LGBTQ people. We're proving that by talking to our loved ones. And we do not call them defendants. We don't call them criminals. We don't call them felons. We call them loved ones or formerly incarcerated people, because dignity and respect has been lost within the criminal legal system. People are not humanized going through that system. And so it is our duty here at LAR to ensure that our loved ones have a level of dignity and respect as they're going through their case. And this case here of this young lady has risen to one of my most favorite cases. I already interviewed her mom a little earlier, but this is her. They were co-defendants. And if you don't know what co-defendants are, it is two or more people that are charged of one crime, and they have to battle that charge as a group, right? And so this is a mother and daughter co-defendant operation or team, and the system tries at every turn to separate and to harm that particular co-defendant situation. I had co-defendants as well. I had two different co-defendants in my case, and my co-defendant was one of my very, very good friends at the time, and it completely destroyed our relationship. And so people that have co-defendant cases that are family or people that are really close to them, that kind of pulls at my heart, because this system was not designed to create a place for you all to work at this together. They want to conquer and divide. And so talk to me a little bit about your case, about how that conquer and divide, about how the fact that you were pregnant while you were incarcerated. Just start somewhere.
Okay, where do you start? So I guess to start, I was wrongfully accused or arrested and wrongfully accused of all kinds of things that I would never have thought would be brought upon my name, or at least definitely not acted upon. And
what was that charge? Tell it now, because you've been vindicated, honey. Tell them what that charge was.
It was conspiracy to murder in the first degree and the second degree.
Did anybody die?
No one died. It was assault in the first and second degree, witness intimidation, and induce and inhibit, something like that with witnesses. In the end, it took about 4 to 5 months of me sitting in the jail, but in the end, it turns out that I'm innocent of everything, and everything that they said was a lie. But it didn't stop me having to lose part of my life that I'll never get back. It didn't stop that I was pregnant when I was arrested. So the pregnancy ain't gonna wait because you're in jail. It's gonna happen no matter what. You're gonna have to get the baby out. And just so happens 2 weeks into me being arrested, the baby said, "Hey, I'm about to leave, Mom. I don't know what you gonna do."
So you gave birth.
Yes, I did. I gave
Chained
birth.
it in custody.
Yep, I did. It was an emergency C-section because his heart rate kept dropping with every time I would have a contraction. So they ended up, me and a CO I had never met before, went into the operating room, and when he came out, the CO looked down and said, "He looks like you." And I said,
Wow.
"Really?"
So you weren't surrounded by your family?
No, it's definitely not how I imagined having my first kid, or experiencing birth.
And you'll never be able to get that back.
No, I didn't get the pictures and things that you get while you're in the hospital holding your baby, and to experience those moments, those joyful moments of holding your baby. I only got to hold him for 10 hours, 11 hours, and then the hospital ended up coming in and taking him away, and that's when they kind of started to chain me up a little bit more and give me a little less as freedom in the bed, because they had took him. So they were I guess they were scared of what I might do, but I'm like, as long as my son's here, I'm not going anywhere. Unless y'all forcibly make me leave, I don't want to leave without my son.
Wow.
And they ended up, I guess, calling my grandmother and my mom, who was at home, but more so my grandma. And they came to the hospital, but I had no idea that they were there. I didn't get to see them. I didn't know that they had even seen my son had it, or if they even knew that he was alive, like, or in the world kind of thing. I wasn't able to make those phone calls.
Wasn't able to get pictures of if, like, when he was first born.
Nothing.
The little baby hat that they give you, the whole experience. You were deprived of that.
Yeah.
Because the government, right, a police officer decided, to charge you, and a prosecutor upheld those charges of first-degree murder where no one died.
Right.
I think that's the craziest thing. Like,
right.
There is also an attempted murder. They could have charged you with that, but they didn't.
No.
They charged you with first-degree murder when no one died. You were pregnant. You had the sweet baby who's here, right here with us. Let's say his name. What's his name?
Lemire.
We'll say his name. And Lemire was born, and I'll just tell you that the fight that we had on the outside for 3 months while you were on the inside was to get you home on the ankle monitor was horrible. I think I cussed and fussed at the pretrial detention unit so many times. The gentleman there, Jeffrey, he probably was like, he's like, "Miss Johnson, there's nothing more we can do. We need her ID. We need this. We need that." And they held you there for 3 months while your son was with your mom and your grandma, separated from you. And they continued. Knowing that this was a baseless case, the prosecutor continued his witch hunt to ensure that you were found guilty of charge. Did they offer you a plea deal?
They did. They offered me a plea for assault in the 2nd degree, I believe. And at that point, I had been away from my son for so long, I was willing to take anything to go home. I just wanted to go home. I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take seeing him grow up in pictures, or looking at him cry through the visitation glass and not being able to touch him, or to even know if he can hear me for real through when I'm saying, "It's okay, babe, it's okay." I can't get to you. And I couldn't take it. And my lawyer, he told me to, stay strong. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to break you. They're trying to get you to do anything, take anything, say anything to go home. And he was like, just hold on. And
well, you had a different experience with your attorney than your mother had with her attorney.
Yeah.
So, I actually like your attorney.
Yeah, my attorney.
And I'm going to say his name.
Yes.
Is Jeffrey Campbell was your attorney, correct? Was he?
No. I had Kwaku Torre.
Okay.
Yep.
Say his name again.
Kwaku Torre.
Yes. And Jeff Campbell was also on he was the other loved one in the case that was charged.
Yep.
He was his attorney.
Yep.
I love me some Jeffrey Campbell.
Yeah,
I love the Prince George's County Public Defender's Office. They do what they're supposed to do. They need funding. They need more lawyers there. But for the most part, the Prince George's County Public Defender's Office is bar none. They really do what they're supposed to do. So if you are going through a case right now and you have a public defender from Prince George's County, keep them, call us so we can help you with your case. Okay. So talk to us a little bit. You came home. Your grandmother is so great. She's so sweet.
She is.
She came to every participatory defense meeting while you were inside. and she gave updates, and she had the baby, and she was navigating all these things. And, you know, we went back and forth to court because we were able to then fight to get you off the ankle monitor too. Right? So you came home, we had to fight to get you out on an ankle monitor, which took 3 months. Then we had to fight to get you off the ankle monitor, which took some time. But you were able to kind of like live and get a job and work and go to school. Talk to us a little bit about, like, you know, as a young person, how old were you when you were arrested?
2 years ago? This is 2 years ago, so 24.
24.
Yep.
24, pregnant, probably scared to death.
Just turned 24.
You're the same age as my son. That's how old my son is. And listen, if I got a phone call from him, he was on the inside, I probably would try to break in and take him out. It's no way that, like, I could ever imagine my son's being on the inside. Me, as a person who went through and knows what it's like to know that my baby is inside, and he's a big baby, he's 24, but you know, just to know that they're on the inside would tear me apart.
I walked in with my mom
that day. Walked in with your mom, because y'all were co-defendants. Did they keep y'all separate? Because usually when you're a co-defendant, they say one person has to go into this place and one person has to go there.
At that time, they didn't. When initial arrest, no, they didn't. We were sitting right there. You know, it was surreal because it was like, why are we all here? Like, there's no, let me call my daughter, let me call my mom. It's like, dang, we here, we in this together. Both calling the same person, my grandmother, who's on the outside.
And you had never been in any trouble before?
No.
People have this misnomer, this misunderstanding that everybody that goes through the system or that's arrested is the worst person in the world. They deserve it. No. They had to have been selling drugs or selling their this or selling their body or shoplifting. But, like, no, you were going to school, you were minding your business, you were pregnant, and you were the victim.
Yes.
You were the victim in this case. Yes. You were beaten while you were pregnant. You were the victim. You left that situation with murder charges. Murder charges where no one died.
Right.
Right? Talk a little bit about creating your social bio.
My social bio was created by my mom and my grandma while I was still incarcerated. So it was a lot of outreach from my mom and my grandma trying to get our family together and people to write letters and really just speak on my behalf. And they put a beautiful social bio together with you guys.
And that's what helped get you off the ankle monitor.
Yes, we were able to give it to my lawyer, who in turn gave it to me while I was still inside. My copy I got it while I was still locked up, and I was able to read it and like go through it. It gave me motivation while still inside. Like it was like being able to read it and know how these different people feel about you. And I can imagine how it would have helped if I needed it in court.
But you didn't need it. You didn't need it at the end. You needed it.
I needed it at the beginning, but not at the end.
Yeah, to get you out.
But yep.
Did you think we were crazy people when you came out for the first time? You saw all of us in the court. You're like, where the hell did these people come from?
I mean,
what did you think?
I thought it was a packed courtroom. I was just like, well, maybe they just have some other stuff after me. These people all can't be here for me. Ain't no way. Like, I know this person, I know that person, but this room is packed, standing room only, and it's like, this is for me. Really? Like
did you go back with any hope? Like okay, did it make you? Did it?
It made me say, "Dang, I got all these people on my team. Everyone fighting. They really out there. Okay, I can stay strong. I can stay strong. There's people outside fighting for me. It's not just my nana working alone ship. It's not just mom trying to help where she can. It's a lot of people. It's a community of people really here. They're here. It's not just words. They there. This is a packed room. It was crazy. I was like,
I commend you. You're a 10%er at 24 years old. Well, you're a 10%. Yeah. I'm a 10%er. There's not too many 10%ers. And do you know what I mean when I say you're a 10%er? You're a 10%er because only 10% of Americans, people that are charged with a crime in the country of America, actually go to trial. Wow. I went to trial. Yeah. You went to trial. 90% of individuals who go through the criminal legal system plead guilty. And you were on your way to pleading guilty because you wanted to get home to your son. Even though you were not guilty, even though you were vindicated, you thought about it. You thought that it would have been easier for you to take a plea deal so this can go away for the moment so that you can hurry up and get to your son.
Yeah.
At 24 years old, you made a decision and did what some 34, 44, 54, 64 couldn't make that decision and have that level of courage to stand on business. Hello? To stand on business, to stand on your innocence. First degree murder was the charge that you gave. That's like Snoop Dogg. Murder was the case that they gave me. Murder was the case they gave this baby girl, 24 years old. And you came out victorious. I don't think you know the magnitude of what you went through and to come out on the other side. It was not designed for you to exit that system unscathed. Well, I won't say you were unscathed because right. You were definitely scathed. You had to give birth in prison. Yeah. But they wanted you to give birth in prison, and they wanted to put you in prison. They wanted your child to be separated from you for God knows how long. Mm-hmm. That was the government's job. That was the government's plan. Mm-hmm. And they failed because when we fight, we what? Win. And that's exactly what we did. We fought and we won. And I'm so proud of you. I don't think, you could understand how proud I am because I've had so many conversations with so many people who was like, I'm just going to go ahead and plead guilty. And I just be like, oh my God, don't do it. They don't have no evidence. They look at the discovery. They're like, I'm just going to plead. But I don't ever judge them because it's so scary. This system is a big, scary system to be in. And I never judge people that want to take plea deals, even when I know they're not guilty, because people are tired. Yeah. People get tired. How long did your case go on for?
A year and a half, I believe.
It was like 2 years, girl. You lost some time while you was on the inside. Because I remember. It was like 2 years. 2 years, that's a long time. It was like 2 years because things kept getting postponed. Definitely. Cancellations. Yeah. It was a period of time where the government wasn't ready. The prosecutor got sick. His mother died. Whatever. And you had to bear the brunt of it. But luckily you weren't on the inside when all these continuations and things were happening. Yeah. Right? Whew. I'm not going to cry, but I am going to, I'm just going to breathe and take in this win. Because you are one of the wins that are very, very hard to come by. And I want you to talk a little bit about how your case was vindicated because you went to trial. Yeah. And so you had about eight charges? Yes. And what happened? What happened?
The initial day, I believe we got at least 2 of the charges dismissed on the initial day. The second day,
because the government didn't have enough evidence.
They didn't have enough evidence to hold those charges. Then the second day, I believe on that day, we had went through the jury and got picked our jury on the first day. That took forever. Second day, when we were starting, I guess, our opening statements and things like that, going through all the lawyers, because there was 3 on our side. By the time we got through all the lawyers speaking, the judge kind of looked at the prosecutor and was like, I've heard a lot of this story, but I haven't heard what Miss Davis did. My lawyer, of course, was like, because she didn't do anything. And he ended up dismissing all of my charges at that moment and acquitting me on all my charges.
And you got to walk from behind that gallery. I'll never forget. And my tears were just flowing like a baby.
My tears were
flowing.
I
was like, oh my God, they let her go. The judge vindicated you. The judge wouldn't even allow for the jury, because the judge has a lot of power, but the prosecutor has the most. Right. Because the prosecutor could have not have even charged you with this in the first place. Mm-hmm. But the judge said, listen here, prosecutor, you done brought all these charges. I done heard everything. Yep. I don't hear where she should be being charged with this. So I'm going to step in now, and I'm going to drop all of these charges. And so you were able to walk free because the judge saw how ridiculous this case is. Yep. And so I say that because I know the state's attorney very well. The state's attorney for Prince George's County, who was Aisha Braveboy. Yeah. And this prosecutor, what's his name? Tell me, what's his name again?
This is Ian Pozetsky.
Ian what?
Pozetsky.
He was horrible.
Yes, he was.
And Aisha, this is for you and your team, because that man should be fired.
I would say.
That man should be fired, and he should be released immediately, because the way he treated this young lady in that courtroom, the way he treated her the whole entire time of her case was horrific. It was almost racist, if I must say so myself. So, Aisha, you got a couple more months in office before you leave and try to go to county executive. Take out the trash. because that man was trash.
I would say
He was trash, and
that too.
I don't even get low down dirty like this, but that man was trash. He saw her cry. He knew she gave birth in prison. He knew he didn't have enough evidence to hold or charge her, and he just kept coming. He kept coming. He kept laying it on thick every chance he got. When he had the opportunity to have decency, he had none. To have justice, he gave none. I even called to the office. I told you all that this woman was innocent, and it didn't matter. But you walked away.
I would say the state's victim or whoever they had on their victim, who they deem as their victim, he said to me in the hallway while we were still in the courthouse, "I'm so sorry this happened to you," and I told them you were innocent, and I told them I would say anything to make sure that you got home to your son. And that came from the man that the state brought in.
Aisha, you gotta, and whoever comes in next, I don't know who's going to go forth next. I'm hearing that maybe Wanika Fisher, maybe you are going to run for that position. I don't know, but hopefully y'all watch this on and see this. But say his name one more time. Let's say it loud.
Ian Pozetsky.
Ian Pozetsky needs to be fired. He needs to go out with the trash. He needs to go do something else. If it was up to me, his license should be taken from him, because if she did that to her and her mom, just imagine how many more Black people Ian Pozetsky from the Prince George's County State's Attorney's Office is overcharging, unnecessarily charging, and imagine how many more lives he is breaking in this system. That is a total injustice. That is so much hurt and harm that he is putting on Black communities. I think he's a terrorist. He's behaving like a terrorist, because he had so many opportunities in 2 years as her case was going on to drop the charges. We begged him to drop the charges. We showed him that it was not her, that she was actually the victim, that she was actually beat, that she was actually at the mercy of losing her baby by being kicked by your state's witness, and you did nothing. As a matter of fact, you doubled down. So count your days, because you should be fired. Aisha, if you can hear me. And I say that with the most due respect about that, right? So with all being said, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you because you're so brave.
Thank you.
I want to thank you because you trusted me and you didn't know me. First time you saw me, I was in a courtroom. You didn't know, who was this lady? I get it a lot, I know, but because I can extend my love to a woman that's sitting in a cage that I've never met, you are an extension of me.
Right.
I am you and you are me. So I just wanted you out of there. I didn't have to know your name. I didn't have to know anything else. I just knew I wanted you out of your situation. And that is why I operated the way that we did, so that we can get you home. And for you to be so young, going through this, and to be so brave is so rare. And so I want to thank you. You're an awesome mom. You stuck around. You and your mom both.
Yes.
You volunteer with us.
Yes.
You've gone through our Justice and Liberation Institute. You have been a stellar person since I've known you. And the government was going to try to they were going to try to snuff that out. They were going to take that from you. And so I'm just honored that you trusted me and to be able to bring you through on the other side. And that you're now helping other young women who may go through the same thing to come through this system on the other side. So I can get a hug?
Yes. Of course. Thank you so much.